Hi everyone, this is Kickstarter episode 2, and as you probably know if you watched the first episode, this is a series on EDUKWEST where we cover interesting projects on Kickstarter, which is a website where people with interesting ideas or projects can pledge for money to make it actually happen, and on the other side, people who find this idea interesting can donate money or even pay up front to get the product as soon as it's available. And today we have Jun, and she has a project called Biochemies. So glad to have you on the show.
Hi.
So in 1-2 sentences, what would you say is Biochemies all about?
So Biochemies is about kind of changing the perception of science education a little bit, or changing the perception of science for students by making them fun and with smiley faces. So it's very simple. It's literally tagging smiley faces to scientific objects, either to explain something scientific or just to portray them so that kids can relate to them or reinforce what they've learned in class with an approachable face on it. And so I envision it as an entire line of things, you know, going from physical products to digital products. However, on the Kickstarter, I am featuring specifically a set of DNA plush dolls. So here's two, and here's the other two. And they're the chemical structures of DNA, but the additional thing to just being dolls is that they magnetically stick. So adenine and thymine stick via 2 bonds, and the other 2 stick via 3. So the kids can actually, you know, touch them, see something tangible for something very, very abstract that they usually just draw in their notebook. You can kind of feel them, kind of hopefully, you know, get a better idea of like how the structures are formed, how there's 2 rings in this one ring in this one, and then more importantly, how they interact. So just to give a little more kind of educational level to instead of pretty little dolls.
Yeah, I think we can all remember those either pretty boring sessions in school where we were watching the teacher on the blackboard drawing those things and we had to put them in the notebook, or, well, even playing with those plastic things you stuck together. But I think, yeah, as you said, putting smiley faces on it is already a good way. And so you started, I think, with the molecules that are in the DNA, right?
Right. So yeah, these are the 4 DNA bases.
And any specific reason for this? Because it's the source of life, or?
Because it had interactivity, actually. So the first mock-up that I ever did was just a little Erlenmeyer flask, and it was cute, but it didn't do anything. It just kind of sat there, and despite it having similar purposes of kind of educating or outreach. This one, because of the interactivity, I thought would be engaging and kind of bring toys to a new level as well.
And later on, you imagine also to add other molecules that react the same way, or?
I'm not sure yet. I think I want to do something unique with them, like these, to both just be dolls, but have some added level of education value to it. So I have some things in the works, but they're definitely not final yet, and we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, and obviously you also hit the nerve of the community, because I think you pledged for 8,000, and in the meantime you are close to 30,000, and
yes.
Most people definitely want to have the set, so they just not donated to get a thank you email, but I think over 500 pre-ordered basically the set. So,
right. Yeah,
do you have any feedback? Will they use it for the children, or I think you also mentioned that you can imagine just for the geekiness to have it on your desk or stuff like this?
Right. I think I'm not sure exactly about all the demographics yet. I have yet to find out. But from what I've heard so far, I think I have reached kind of my 3 major demographics, which is 1, teachers, so that they can use as education tools in the classroom, especially bio teachers. Geeks themselves, so like myself, who's a biologist, you know, I grew up with all these giant microbes and everything, and it's it's really about celebrating my geekiness. I mean, you know, toys off of Think Geek and all these like nerd toys are very popular with nerds because it's a cultural thing. It's a reinforcement, it's a celebration. And then there's not enough of science celebratory toys. Just, and then lastly, I think a lot of parents are getting it for their kids, just seeing the education value behind it, and that, you know, despite, even if the kid is too young to know what it's actually about, one, be really excited and have kind of an affinity about DNA once they actually learn it in class, and two, they might inquire about DNA earlier and, you know, go look it up themselves and find out what it's about. I'm also planning on the website itself to have a whole kind of tutorial, eventually videos, we'll see where that goes, but kind of a video intro about what DNA is, what these molecules mean, how they, you know, interact, or how they relate to us, and the fact that they're in every cell and the key component of our lives.
Yeah, and I think I read that the idea of Biochemies, so the website itself, is already 2 years in the making, and that it's about, in general, bring science education closer into the interest of parents. And do you think that now that STEM is becoming more, let's say, even popular in the discussion about education, that that eventually will help projects like yours?
Yeah, definitely. And I think, I mean, part of the reason I'm doing the projects as well is to try and influence STEM and trying to get more people into STEM. And I think, I mean, you know, STEM at least focuses a lot on programming and how to teach kids and everything. But I think not only do you have to like teach kids science in the classroom, but you need to find ways outside the classroom to reinforce what they're teaching, to actually create a culture around it. Because I think, especially in America, I think there's, you know, nerdiness and like science geekiness is still not a very popular culture, especially for impressionable kids who are, you know, trying to be popular and trying to do, you know, juggle a lot of different subjects. And so to try to make science cool, and try to make them realize that, hey, this is, you know, not just for like scary smart people who have no lives. It's like you can be very normal and be awesome at science, and you should, you know, try at science because it's awesome, and it's you know, a great profession, and you get to do great things for the world.
Yeah. So as you said, this is just a first step, depending on, I guess, how popular those plushies will be when they're actually on the market. So apart from those people who pre-ordered them via Kickstarter. And then the idea is, I think, to, depending on the revenue that is coming into launch, as you said, new products, may it be digital ones or more plushies, more other toys? Right.
Yeah, I think, I mean, I think I have a very big goal, and the way to go about it is very different. And I would like to, you know, explore and try and test them out. And that's what Kickstarter has been, too. It's a really great testing platform to test your idea. And obviously the plushie are well received. So yeah, I might do more Kickstarters. I might, you know, make some things and throw it out there and see how it's received.
Yeah, I think that is a good point, that you can do your funding and your marketing or market test in one step. So,
right, and
yeah, go on.
Oh, so Kickstarter is really, really awesome for that, exactly, marketing and funding.
Okay, anything else people should know about Biochemies? I think you also have downloadable pictures on the website for schoolrooms, stuff like this.
Yeah. Yeah, like you mentioned, the whole Biochemies kind of started off as that. It literally started off doodles in my notebook, you know, taking notes and just drawing little smiley faces in them. And then I kind of made them into a little more digital, kind of cleaned up pictures. And and then that kind of just sat for a while until this year, this plush doll idea came about, and it's kind of taken off since then.
And how do you get this idea? Plush toys?
Actually, I was playing with an Android plush toy in the car one day, and I randomly just said something like, and it wasn't like, it was, half serious, just saying, oh, the way to get things, like to grab girls' attention is to make anything into a plush doll. And it's like, wait a second. It's like, that's what we should do with science.
Yeah, I think I can stand behind this. I also had tons of plush toys when I was young, so not only girls. Okay.
Yeah, no, definitely not only, but yeah.
So where can people find you? Obviously on Kickstarter. We will link the campaign, of course, underneath this video, but I think you're also pretty active in social media, so Twitter, Facebook, I think all Biochemies and biochemies.com.
Yeah, Biochemies everywhere, biochemies.com, Twitter Biochemies, Facebook Biochemies, and also my personal Twitter is Junibug, JUNNIBUG, and I tend to reserve more kind of science education, kind of science art stuff for Biochemies, but I'll tweet anything else on mine.
Okay, great. So anything else people should know?
I don't think so.
Okay. Great. So thank you for being on the show today, and good luck with the remaining, I think, 14 days. And we'll keep an eye on you and Biochemies.
Yeah, thanks so much.